You may not have the looks, you may not have the dash, but you'll win yourself a girl if you've only got a mustache, a mustache, a mustache, if you've only got a mustache.
inVision is a production of ElkTV. And now, Burleson High School, it's time for inVision, featuring Colton Gray and Dakota Fox. Kaitlyn Ulmer. Ashley Cobb and Paulina Borowski. Joshua McCall. Rockford Rudd.
Hello, Elk Nation, and welcome to inVision. I'm AJ Adkins.
And I'm Dylan Willis.
I'm Jeremy Smith.
And I'm Austin Fernandez. You may be wondering why we're hosting the show this week.
Well, isn't it obvious?
We're here in honor of No Shave November.
And each of us has a well-crafted, beautiful facial hair.
Mr. Rudd was going to host the show, but he's over 40 years old and still can't grow a beard as beautiful as any of us.
We would encourage each of you to grow as much facial hair as possible this month.
And all this, of course, is to honor, wait, what is No Shave November?
It's in the honor of beauty of the beard, bro.
Well, it's going to be a great show this week.
This week's show is sponsored by Facial Hair and Beauty Coaches Convenience Show.
Our musical guests are the Seven Dwarfs and the Looney Tunes.
Hope you enjoyed the show, folks.
You're watching the
A production of ElkTV.
Happy No Shave November.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
You may not have the looks, you may not have the dash, but you'll win yourself a girl if you've only got a mustache, a mustache, a mustache, if you've only got a mustache. You may be common folk without a hint of pride, but you needn't be a king to make any maiden a bride. But you'll make that girl your own if you've only got a mustache, a mustache, a mustache, big mustache, thick mustache, my mustache, your mustache. Say the word mustache, a mustache, a mustache.
And now, the Elk News Network.
Good Friday, Elk Nation. This is Colton Gray with the Elk News Network.
And I'm Dakota Fox with the Elk News Network.
Dakota, I already said that this is the Elk News Network.
But I also am here with the Elk News Network.
You're here because your parents cashed out a favor with the warden.
And I'm Dakota Fox, on loan from the Johnson County Correctional Facility News Network. On to the news.
Last week, we reported on the World Beard and Mustache Championships in Portland, Oregon. Well, in honor of No Shave November, we'd like to recap some of the better facial hair from the competition.
Beautiful. In other news, a 28-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of burglary after a Wichita woman found him eating cookie dough from her freezer in the early morning hours. The Wichita Eagle reports the woman came out of her bedroom shortly before 3:30 a.m. Thursday and found the stranger in her kitchen. Wichita Police spokesman Lieutenant James Espinoza says the man told police he thought was at his aunt's house and he was hungry. Police say the man entered the home through an unlocked back door. The 52-year-old woman who lives there was not hurt, and the intruder, who has been formally charged, was arrested on suspicion of aggravated burglary.
Fox News is in the hot seat after running a couple of offensive headlines last week. Sean Prezio of Florida, who is a quadriplegic amputee, was accused of killing his parents. The local Fox News affiliate ran the headline, "Quadruple amputee considered armed and dangerous." When they reported the story shortly after, probably due to viewer comments, the network changed their headline. The next thing they ran was, however, probably the worst attempt. "Quadruple amputee on the run." There were even more viewer complaints after the second headline aired.
That is a sad story, Colton. Seems like it would have been pretty difficult for a quadrupedal amputee to kill his parents. But I do wonder, did he even have a hand in on the crime?
It does seem like persecuting him would be difficult. I'd imagine his defense would have a leg up on the prosecutors in this case.
Well, that's the news for this week, Elk Nation. I'm Dakota Fox.
And I'm Colton Gray.
Please don't arrest us.
Deep Thoughts with Joshua McCall.
Hello, I'm Joshua McCall, and I've got beef on the mind. No, not beef to eat, but beef to save. I want to talk today about the Chick-fil-A cows. They've been going around for years trying to save themselves from slaughter by campaigning for more consumption of their fellow barnyard occupant chickens. It's gotten to the point where they are vandalizing buildings and taking up every billboard in sight. The prevalence of the material exceeds that of McDonald's, and even people in the most remote region of the world know who Ronald McDonald is. Speaking of other places in the world, India. It's a nation with an official religion that consecrates cows. Basically what I'm saying is, they don't eat beef. Now I want to speak directly to the Chick-fil-A cows. Are you listening? Good. What I want to say to you is, move to India. Really, all of your problems will be solved if you just buy some plane tickets to that overpopulated subcontinent. My God, you spend whatever millions of dollars to stay alive via ubiquitous advertising. How about you save money by spending a couple $1,000s on staying alive via American Airlines? By doing this, you save your lives and your wallets. I knew I would sell you on the idea by bringing economics into it. Well, enough of me being the savior of cow kind. I'm Joshua McCall, and, well, I'm off to eat more chicken.
And now, this week's musical guest.
Women. Courage, men. Courage. Don't be nervous. Gosh, it's wet. Oh, it's cold, too. We ain't going to do it, are we? Well, it'll please the princess. I'll take a chance for her. Me too. Her wiles are beginning to work. But I'm warning you. You give them an inch, and they'll walk all over you. Don't listen to that old warthog. Come on now, man. How hard do you scrub? Well, it's gonna shrink. Can you get in the tub? You have to wash where it doesn't show. No, don't get excited. Here we go. Step up to the tub. Ain't no disgrace. Just pull up your sleeves and get them in place. Then scoop up the water and rub it on your face and go. Pick up the soap. Now don't try to bluff. Work up a leather. When you got enough, get your hands full of water. You snort and you snuff and go. You douse and you souse, rub and you scrub, you sputter and splash all over the tub. You may be cold and wet when you're done, but you gotta admit it's good clean fun. So splash all you like, tain't any trick. As soon as you're through, you'll feel mighty slick.
Bunch of old nanny goats, you make me sick going. Next thing you know, she'll be tying your beards up in pink ribbons and smelling you up with that stuff called, her food. A fine bunch of water lilies you turned out to be. I'd like to see anybody make me wash if it isn't water.
Gregory suffers from facial hair. Jonathan suffers from facial hair. Even Samantha suffers from facial hair. Donate today to put an end to this terrible affliction. Yes, donate your life savings to Joshua McCall. He will stop it.
And now, the Elk Sports News Network.
Hello, BHS. I'm Kaitlyn Ulmer with the Elk Sports News Network. Let's not have this on my face. It's supposed to be No Shave November, but I'm not wearing that thing. Let's talk about playoffs. The Lady Elks finished their season 26-15. They placed third in district and took on Arlington Heights in the first round of by-district championship. The Lady Elks beat Arlington Heights 25-12, 25-17, 25-10. In the second round area championship, the Lady Elks played Grapevine High School. They ended their season in a tough match against Grapevine. The Lady Elks lost in 3 sets, 23-25, 22-25, and 17-25. Thanks for all the support this year. The girls couldn't have done it without you. The Lady Elks will lose 6 seniors: Rayleigh Russell, Madison Landers, Madison Riley, Mackenzie Haley, Hope Lewis, and Lacey DePaula. These girls will be truly missed. Last Friday, the Elk football team played Everman High School, and we beat them 48-27, throwing us into the playoffs. One of the highlights of the game involved the SOAP crew giving us a spelling lesson after a touchdown. For those of you who don't know what SOAP means, it's Spirit of the Elk. For our first playoff game, we'll be playing at Brewer High School Stadium tonight against South Hills High School. Everyone be there to support our boys, and if you aren't there, well, you just let the terrorists win. In the NFL, the Seahawks mascot Hawk, who flies around the stadium before the game, landed on a fan, freaking him out. That was probably the highlight of the NFL week. Apparently the Cowboys also went overseas to play as well, but whatever. I'm Kaitlyn Ulmer, and you just heard this week's sports. Oh.
If I could have any facial hair in the world, I'd probably have the sideburns all the way coming down where it meets the beard, and then the beard's just hanging down, all the way down. You know, like a Duck Dynasty mustache. Ooh.
Oh yeah, the Gandalf beard.
I would want a nice, thick hipster beard, but shaved like that one guy from Hunger Games, so where it's all like curly and sharp right here.
What I have right now.
full-on beard.
If I could grow a beard, it'd probably be one of them long Duck Dynasty beards, but probably longer to the ground and like have it curl at the end.
Like a little spy mustache. Ew. I don't like facial hair. I would not want facial hair at all, ever. None.
I'd probably want Yosemite Sam's mustache, then it goes right there to the beard.
Like that Italian thing, I don't know.
If I could grow a beard, I would want hair swans coming out of my face and little hairs that I could pull and their mouths would quack.
I would want one of those 80s cop mustaches that's just like this big bushy caterpillar that just rests on your upper lip and intimidates people when they walk by.
And now, a word from our sponsor. And now, this week's musical guest.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
I tried.
I sort of have a condition where hair grows around my face.
Rip it off like a Band-Aid.
And it took my glasses with it.